Alright, awesome. Hey guys, I've wanted to make this YouTube video for a while now, documenting my various thoughts and feelings on the world, and the thing that I want to focus on more than anything is solutions. Just little tips and tricks to try to make everyone's life easier and better. Better for the greater whole. Things like buying your grandma a Christmas present. But the things you don't consider is where that whatever you're buying, her teapot, came from, and who made it, and how it got there, so on and so forth. And so I want to talk to you guys about Christmas. The idea is it's a holiday about giving, and it's such a sweet idea. It's a beautiful holiday, but unfortunately, how it's produced and manufactured is using slave labor, and it has a massive ethical toll. The retail workers just hating their lives every single day up until the 25th. What I meant to say is it also has a massive environmental toll. Some numbers I can throw out is it's an estimated 25 million cubic tons of waste are produced each year, and it's 5% of all CO2 emissions. And the other one is the economic toll. That's $425 billion is spent on Christmas, and only a fraction of it is returned to the American economy. It's primarily money given towards Chinese sweatshops, prison camps, and where they torture people, and they aren't paid pennies a day. Maybe there's some, but for Christmas lights, they're slaves. They're prisoners. Christmas lights, good God, I read an article on that one. Man, it's made in Chinese prisons, which the conditions are just so much worse than in this country or most any other. It's 30 to a room, no beds, no toilets. They use torture, and they use forced labor to produce Christmas lights. Ho ho ho, Merry Christmas. And it's a shame because it's such a sweet, happy, innocent, decorating the house with your family. It's supposed to be this really wholesome celebration, but it's not. So yeah, something that my dad said to me once. He said, "The path to hell is paved with good intentions," and I think a lot of people, it's that they'll have a lack of understanding these things, and good people will unknowingly partake in these evil practices. And Christmas should not be evil. So again, we don't need to stop having Christmas. We don't need to condemn Christmas, just to change it up a little. And so anyways, it's no good. And so solutions, what are the answers? I've given it some thought, and I got a handful of solutions and answers. I think the biggest thing is just to avoid the needless consumeristic spending in the first place. But a homemade gift means a lot more. And I want to find solutions that work for everyone. So I listed off some suggestions that may work for some, but as I said, if you want something more physical, again, buying local or buying secondhand is best. And at the very least, if you do end up going to the Walmart or the Amazon or whatever, and you do end up supporting Chinese slavery, just rather unethical practices, remember that less is more. And that's all I should have to say about that. Less is more. The point I was going for is experiences. Some things to consider: sledding trips, snowmobile trips, concert tickets. Whatever you want to do is a fun thing to do with your friends or family. And I think that's so much better than most any material object. The other thing I was going to say is photographs, because that one, it's something tangible, but it's a documentation of a past experience. Homemade gifts. Homemade gifts are awesome. Homemade gifts are really sweet, and it can be fun making them, and you can make them with the person or with other family members and then gift it to a different family member, and they're just really sweet. And There's also alternatives to if you don't want to put in the work, if you don't have the time for it. You can get on Etsy and get a nice homemade gift, or to buy something locally manufactured. Besides that, let's see, buying secondhand, getting something off of Craigslist or Facebook Marketplace, that's definitely a better move. And the last thing is less is more. And so these are all things to consider. Another thing that comes to mind is I think that the best thing you could do is to give to a charity. Use that as a gift to donate to a charity in that person's name. And it'll mean so much more to that person. Now that's all pertaining to gifts. In regards to decorations, make your own Christmas decorations. And if you're wondering, well, how do you do that? Big cardboard cutouts. Go to the liquor store, get some of their old cardboard boxes, unfold them, and draw a Santa or a snowman or something and put it in the window. A nice wreath, a nice natural wreath that comes from the garden store, plant nursery, or some local business. Snowmen, just making snowmen in the front yard. It's a lot of fun. It's very festive. I think it's kind of like a decoration. It's very iconic. So these are all alternatives. Another thing is in regards to the wrapping paper, making your own wrapping paper using newspaper and paint. That's better. Planting a tree. This suggestion was given to me by my mom, where you go to a plant nursery, grab a little baby Charlie Brown Christmas tree, hang a few decorations on it. Again, this is the whole less is more and kind of making personal sacrifices to better the planet. And then the best thing is when you're done with it for the few weeks you have it in your living room, then you can go to a forest or even your front yard and plant it. So I think it's a really sweet idea. It can pertain to other Christmases as well as other holidays, birthdays, and most any day of your life. Any day that involves consumeristic spending, which is a big part of the modern existence of most people. And I'm not an anti-capitalist or anything. I think money has its part in this world and so on and so forth, but just to be conscientious of what you're spending your money on and to think of various alternatives and to consider the costs of what you are putting your money towards. I'd love to hear what your guys' ideas are. I'd like to know what you think of the video. I know I'm definitely rambling and a little scatterbrained. The first YouTube video, I've been meaning to make this thing for a long while now. At some point I'm thinking that I just need to release it. If I release this thing in January, then it doesn't really make sense. I'm gonna hit you with that, remember to like and subscribe. Hit that bell. I actually just learned what that is. The life of a YouTube star. Here I am. Are you proud of me, Mom? Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and a Happy New Year.